And we're live. Welcome everyone. We thought we'd start a wee bit early tonight. We're waiting for Nick, who's going to be 3 minutes late. Very precise to Nick on the
Nick is
timing.
fired. Nick is fired.
You're right. He's getting fired. No, I wouldn't fire the boy. Whoever's in the chat, can you say hi so that we know that you can actually hear and see us? Hey, Nigel. So tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about infamous couples. So the show might be a wee bit graphic tonight, guys. So there is a strong viewers' discretion advice because some of the things that there's that wee wanker. Hello, my love. Oh no, we fired Nick. Oh no, he's staying. Hey, Wild Bill. So the show may be a bit graphic tonight, folks, because there'll be subjects that obviously we're talking about infamous. I better stop fucking saying famous. Infamous couples. So the one that comes to the top of my head. Well, in fact, I'll share it first of all. Rosie, tell me about your week, darling. How has it been?
Oh, it's been good. I was just writing down some weird facts about Bonnie and Clyde. I found some really weird, strange things about them today.
Oh, that would be an interesting one.
Week's been pretty busy though. We've had to go to the school a bunch of times for award ceremonies and graduation type stuff for Lincoln and other things like that.
How's everybody in the chat week been? How has everybody been? Hey Claire. Hey Rita. Hey Kelly. We're good, thank you. I've been quite busy myself. I passed my group skills today. So I'm quite proud of myself in that one, but to be fair, I'm just not into group work. It's not really my thing. I'm sorry to hear that, Kelly. I hope you're okay. You'd hugged. I was just going to say, Bonnie and Clyde, Eric says. So yes, we're talking about all different types of ones. So Bonnie and Clyde obviously being the top one. So what interesting facts did you still need to smile? Fuck you, I smile all the time. It just doesn't look like it. I've got my destined bitch face on 24/7. What
if her
interesting.
teeth fell out? What if she don't have any teeth and really she can't actually smile?
Don't tell everybody about my falsers. I've not get any falsers.
I'm telling your secrets.
Oh, Kelly, that's horrible. That must be horrible, honey. Huge hugs from us all. So what interesting facts did you learn about Bonnie and Clyde?
Interesting things. So when Clyde was before he, went on his criminal rampage and did all of his, his criminal activities, he tried to join the Navy and he was rejected because he had some kind of illness when he was younger. And there were lingering effects in him. And I think that's why also he might have been so short because he was only 5'4". And he got rejected from the Navy, but I guess he thought he was going to get in because he already had U.S. Navy tattooed on him before they rejected him and he couldn't go and join the Navy. I thought that was funny.
Oh, wow. So it's a really, Bonnie and Clyde are really the most interesting one, I must admit. There is a few that I did have a look at myself. Oh, they're talking about Bonnie and Clyde and they're the first ones that come up. But everybody, it's funny how when people think of couples, when they always say in shows, think of couples, people always say Bonnie and Clyde at the top.
Yeah, or Sid and Nancy. I always think of Sid and Nancy a lot too.
That is
the version of Bonnie and Clyde.
The one that I seen was now I might be pronouncing her second name wrong. Christine Paola and Chris Snyde, aka the Clear Lake Massacre. In 2003, 17-year-old Christine met 21-year-old Christopher the same year that Paola was voted Miss irresistible by her classmates. The two began dating and fell into the life of drugs. On July the 18th of that year, they went to her friend's house in order to steal drugs, but after an argument ensued, the couple shot and killed 4 people in the house, 2 of her best friends and their boyfriends, and they went on the run. It would be almost 3 years until police caught both of them. They were sentenced to life in prison with a chance for parole. 2046 she'll get out, but he died the way an overdose. It's really quite.
It sounds like a bad party.
It does. It's just some of the ones that I did look at, even the ones that was known as the Twilight Killers. Can you remember that one? The
Who was it?
The Twilight Killers, Kim Edwards and Lucas Markham. It was sometime between, I'm sure, 2015-16. 14-year-old Kim Edwards and Lucas Markham began a very intense relationship. Edward's mother, who had a tense relationship with her daughter since a domestic altercation between the two in 2008, where she was really wary and worried about the intensity of their relationship and tried to break the two of them up. In retaliation, Edwards and Markham plotted to kill Edward's mother, and in April 2016, Markham stabbed and smothered both Edward's mother and younger sister. After Edwards was unable to go through with it, after their deaths, the couple took a bath, had sex, and watched Twilight until the police came the next morning.
Twilight,
the two were
the
found
movie?
guilty. That's how they got the nickname. No, serious.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I've read about this. I didn't know though
The-
if you meant Twilight the movie or he was actually like watching the sun go up or down or something.
No, the two were found guilty and they were sentenced to 17 and a half years in prison. See, what's interesting about most of these couples, people always have this impression it's the man that leads, but most of the time when you read about these couples, it's women that is the main
Yeah,
instigator.
the
in the one.
recent case, the Lori Vallow Daybell trial, she was the mastermind behind all of that. The one that just got convicted last week.
Rose and Fred West, they're another one. Yeah, I think I read about that.
They call her the Doomsday Cult Killer. She killed her children and buried them in her newly wedded husband's backyard in Idaho.
I did hear about this. Hi, Mark. Hi, Eric. Hey, I'm saying hi, Eric. That's not what you're saying.
That's what she's
Rosie,
talking about. Twilight is a vampire.
Did you hear about the one in America? We were actually talking about this because, as everybody knows, I'm doing a college course about counselling, and one of my sections is grief, loss, and bereavement. And somebody was telling us about a lady over in America's just been done for killing her husband. And
which one?
She wrote, yeah, well,
a lot of them
there's a shit ton over there. It was the one that wrote the grief book for her kid.
Yeah,
and she literally.
That's recent, yeah.
Yeah, that was really that was quite ironic. Mark says you've got nice hair, Rosie.
Hey, Mort, nice to see you.
But you just think she's writing a grief book.
She was crazy, and then she was writing a second book. She was about to write a second book, and she probably used money that she got from drilling a hole in his safe when she tried to steal the $200,000 that he had.
Oh my God!
Yeah, she planned that out.
That is crazy. Some of these. Oh, there's a notorious N-I-C-K.
Eric.
What's up,
you
guys?
You should let yourself in. Nick,
yeah, sorry.
You're fired. You're tardy. Where's the ruler? You get a slap on the hand with the ruler.
Do you know what? I would do more than that with the ruler every time that man's fucking late.
See, I did tell you guys I was going to be a couple minutes late because right now I'm packing up for the trip to Ohio.
Oh, this weekend. You're away to Ohio, aren't you? To the Paracon.
Yeah, it's OSR.
Nick, what's happening with your screen?
What do you mean?
You look quite demonic. One half you looks demonic, and the other one looks.
I'm not sure
Can
exactly
anyone else
what you
see
mean
that?
by
That
Or is
was a compliment.
It's either that or I've taken too much LSD.
Oh my God. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
That's must be the unicorns again. Eric says, I lost which woman killed husband.
name?
It happens a lot here. I can't remember her name, but did you hear about that, Nick? The lady that killed her husband and she wrote a grief book for her children?
Oh, that's
I can tell you her name. I just watched a video like less than an hour ago about her.
wasn't that with that cult down in Idaho? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Not Lori Daybell. She's not talking about them.
No, I haven't heard about that at all.
I think her name is Casey, if I remember correct, but I'm going to look it up.
Eric says, next screen reminds me of the old black and white shows a long time ago. Do you know what it is, Eric? He's hiding all the love bites.
What?
So you're looking forward to going down to Ohio?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to be exciting. I mean, we do have to leave early in the morning. I think we're leaving around my friend Tom said that he was gonna show up here around 7:30, and we were probably gonna leave around 8 a.m. And to get from get from Chicago to Mansfield, it's about a 6.5 hour drive to get there. But fortunately, we don't have to be in a terrible rush to get all the way out there because the Paracon doesn't start until Saturday. So we got all day on Friday.
So what you mean is you'll be doing Sunday driving. You'll be driving like Miss Daisy to Ohio.
I guess you could say that, which does remind me about obviously for the show tomorrow that I'm hoping I could still be on. I could still try to join Frighteners tomorrow. It all depends if I have a good connection.
Listen, honey, if you can be there, you can be there. If you can't, you can't. Don't worry about it. That's what I need to actually speak to you because Frighteners next week, guys, is actually spanning over 2 days.
Yeah, I remember I was actually going to talk to you about that too. Again, I've been so busy, I haven't been able to do so. So that really makes a lot of sense now.
No, that's all right. Nick just sees my name coming up, folks, and he's like, "Oh, fucking that Scottish lassie again." Wait now, swipe. Oh, sorry, hung up.
Black and white show. I sent you an article, but her name was Corey Richins.
Ah, right.
Kouri Richins.
Richins.
Yeah, Corey.
So
Richins.
what famous couple, Nick, can you think of apart from Bonnie and Clyde?
There was a particular couple I was thinking of. It was who were they? It was actually, believe it or not, they were actually a serial killer couple.
Sid and Nancy.
It's not them, actually. No, it's not them. I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm thinking of a different couple.
Nick and Lois. All right, sorry. They do the crime show, Nick and Lois. Rosie disappeared on us.
Yeah, I don't know where she went, but no, I'm trying. What I'm actually doing right now is I'm going online to find out what couple was I thinking of that. Yeah, that's it's like nagging at me, but it wasn't like a notorious couple, but they were both killers that worked together.
Are they from America? Right, everybody, let's play charades. Are they from America?
Yeah, they were from the U.S. They were active, I believe it was in the if I'm correct, I think they were active back in the 70s or early 80s. Oh, damn it! What? Okay, let's try this. Oh my god!
Everybody, name that fruit.
Wait a minute! I think I found them. Is it? Hang on, I'm checking Wikipedia. Yes, it is. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Their names were Gerald and Charlene Gallego. They were two American serial killers, and well, they were also rapists too. But they weren't together. They were active mainly in Sacramento, California. Again, the state. It seems like so many of these serial killers and criminals came from California between 1978 and 1990.
Ah, Nick says there's a crime show for you, notorious NICK and Lowe's. We're becoming most wanted.
Yeah. Can you imagine if someone actually somebody made a wanted poster of us?
I know.
Yeah, wanted for $50,000 reward.
Listen, I would just turn that. I would turn this in just to go 12% of that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, here, I'll just say this. I mean, if someone does happen to capture us and is putting out that award, throw that stuff out and give them hell. Just once you guys capture us, just throw 10% back to Simply Spooky Network and Things Network, so they keep everything running.
That's it. We need that money to keep us going. The one that I was thinking about as well was Kathleen and David Burney, aka the Moore House murderers. In 1985, Kathy Burney, Lee McLaughlin, left her husband and 7 children to reunite with her childhood sweetheart, David, so that the two of them could live out their deprived sexual fantasies. Over the span of 5 weeks, the couple abducted, raped, and murdered 4 women. The 5th escaped before she could become the 5th victim. They were between the ages of 15 to 31. The couple were found guilty and sentenced to 4 life sentences. However, he hung himself in the cell nearly 20 years after the sentencing, and she's still in prison.
Who is this one?
This was the Moorhouse murders.
Millhouse?
Moor, Moor House murders.
Morehouse murders.
Yeah.
Morehouse, yeah.
But you just
I
think
thought
to
you were
yourself,
talking about Clyde because you said he harmed himself in prison, and Clyde supposedly cut 2 of his toes off when he was in one of the prisons that he was in because he didn't like it there and he wanted to get transported to a different prison because they were mean, so he cut 2 of his toes off with an axe.
oh my god, how would they get an axe in prison?
I don't know. I was wondering that myself.
I wondered too.
It's like, you're in prison, for fuck's sake, that's the worst person a person can get a hold of. Oh, and then we can all join Rosie's cult.
Yes. I don't know what I'll call it yet. I'll have to think of a cool name.
Exactly.
Hello Kitty's already taken, so I can't use that one. And the Doomsday Mom cult, that's already taken. So.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, you're having no much luck.
I'm gonna call it the vape cult. The
vapor. There you go.
The Juicy Bar Vape Cult.
Or you could call it the Lost Berry.
I gotta have at least 7, maybe 13.
I must admit, it's amazing the amount of vapes that you can get these days.
What is amazing that you can get?
The amount of vapes you can get these days.
Oh yeah, I know. At least 10 are fake. Gerald died waiting for execution, and Shirley was released after. That's the couple that was the Morehouse murders.
No, that I know. I've got a rough idea what that one was actually. I I don't know what my cats are doing, but I can hear them making an awful noise. Honestly, there's some pair. No, that's not the one I'm thinking about. But it's just amazing how these couples actually come together and they start a rampage.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what draws them or attracts them toward each other. Like if they both had a violent past or like a family that was that way and they like were magnetically drawn. Because supposedly trauma or like similar backgrounds is supposed to like have something to do with people being attracted to the same kind of person with the same kind of.
I just wonder how you strum up that sort of conversation. You know, that's like me. That's like me meeting Nick in a bar and, hey, how you doing, Nick? You know,
hey,
how do you
that
start?
dress looks good on you, Lois. You want to go rob a bank?
Yeah, it's like how do you come up with that sort of conversation? Oh, what did you do last night? Oh, I killed somebody. I buried their body in the back garden. What did you do last night? Oh, funny enough, I did that as well.
You look, or they could walk up and be like, "Man, you sure do look like you want to go kill somebody today."
It's just like, what the fuck?
You're like, I thought you were gonna say my lipstick looked nice. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not even just that. It's like, as well, like, these people, right? There's people that, and this is going off topic a little bit, surprise, surprise, but there's people that actually let cannibals, like, cook them. Like, how do you strum up a conversation like that? Like,
Yeah,
you
really.
look good to eat. Is it okay if I can eat you?
You look sweet. Can I eat you?
I actually said that to who's now my brother-in-law. There was one, just as a joke. There was one time basically that he got really sunburned. Like, he doesn't like to wear sunscreen because over here at our house we have a backyard pool and we often use it, of course, during the summer. Actually, my dad's working on it right now for this upcoming summer. And my brother-in-law, he doesn't like using sunscreen. There was one time he got burned all over, like 90% of his body. Like, he was like completely red. And at one point, he had his dog with him who jumped up on him when he was still burning and scratched like parts of him up. And I jokingly said at one point, saying, "Chris," that's his actual name. I'm like, "Chris, not to sound weird, but not to us, but you would look like a." Sorry, it's funny when I think about it. I said, "You definitely will look like a very good, tasty meal for a cannibal."
Oh my gosh!
You look kind of tender for it.
Oh my gosh! He looked like he was slightly toasted.
Yeah, he was like medium rare, something like that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Now, do you know Nick will now have a vision of steak every time he looks at his brother-in-law?
Or chicken.
I must admit,
pork.
I must admit, Nick, I'm coming over to yours for holiday so I can swim in your pool.
Wear sunscreen though, because you're very pasty like me.
But believe it or not, I'll tell you a bit of a funny story in a minute when I read Derek's comment. I don't know what draws them together, but it proves, and there's always somebody for someone. Exactly. Now, years ago, guys, I'll give you a laugh. When I went to meet my friend for the very first time, I left my house, didn't wear a jumper because I thought, why you need a jumper? It's not really that warm. Like, I didn't feel it was overly warm. So I went and I sat with my friend for hours, and I mean, we literally sat for hours. And when I went in to have something to eat with, I says, I'm actually quite sore. I says, I don't know how I'm sore, but so I got home and I thought, right, I'll just have a shower, right? I said, I'll just to kind of take away the pain. So I went in and I had a shower and I came out. Wait till I tell you what I done. So when I came out of the shower, I had this awful good idea of putting coconut butter on my skin.
That was before you went in the sun.
Well, after. So the next
After?
thing you know, so I thought it's going again. Sorry, my internet's been a total and utter arsehole.
So you were buttering yourself up like a steak, right?
Yeah, before this was after, right? I'd been right. So when I woke up the next day, I looked like a nuclear plant. I was
Oh my God!
red.
Wow.
I
You had
was
blisters?
red as fuck. No, I was just red. In fact, wait a minute, and I might have the picture somewhere to show you
Oh my
guys.
God!
It was actually quite funny because stupid Tia thought, oh, it'll be alright. I couldn't find the after sun. So I just thought if I put on coconut butter, I'll be absolutely fine. No, that was not the best idea that Lois ever had.
Well, while you're looking, I gotta say, it's kind of the opposite for me because a lot of times, like for example, when I'm like using sunscreen or something like that, it makes me actually like pale, almost ghostly white. Almost, it's not like I'm even putting like a full pack of it on. That's like, it's just kind of crazy. But you know what? All this talk about this already. You know about Lois, you being red, and my brother-in-law having that reddish, that red sunburn. You know what this all kind of reminds me of? I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it reminds me of that hilarious that hilarious Seinfeld episode with Kramer. He put butter on his skin and he got burnt out with the butter on him.
Oh my God.
It's so damn funny. And the character Newman
Hi,
the character Newman starts like developing this cannibalistic taste because he actually tastes pretty good.
Oh my God.
At one point, he was like, at one point, probably the best part of it was that they were at one of the comedy shows Jerry Seinfeld's hosting, and he's really bad at it. I mean, at this, and then after it's over, Newman shows up, and as he's talking, he actually hits like a bowl of of oregano that splashes onto him. And then right after that, he knocks over Parmesan cheese. And he's like, look at me. I'm all covered in oregano and Parmesan, and it's sticking to me because of the butter.
Oh my God.
And then Newman actually then gives him a piece of parsley. Yeah, and he then gives him a piece of parsley, and he tries biting at him.
Oh my gosh.
It's so damn funny.
Were they drunk?
It smells like fried chicken.
Oh my God. I must admit, I'm bad for the sun. I must admit, it starts over my face. You're still laughing.
Yeah, I know, because it's one of my all-time favorite episodes.
Hey, what show is it?
Frasier or Seinfeld?
Oh, I love Frasier.
Yeah, it was an episode. It was an episode of Seinfeld when that happened.
I love Frasier.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Frasier, and I've watched a couple of Seinfeld episodes, but I've never seen Frasier.
Frasier's so funny.
That same episode of all this episode of Kramer got burned with his butter. Even Newman at one point hallucinated because there's like a turkey that's placed in front of him. And when he looks at the turkey, he hallucinates and he sees like the head of Kramer on it. And he turns over to the camera. He's like, hey, buddy. Lifts one of the wings up.
What?
Yeah, it's so
you want
chicken
wings? Chicken wings. Oh my
gosh. Lynn, like that. I was looking forward to it till you bastards are not talking about the same subject.
Yeah.
We're talking about cannibals, chicken wings, and couples that kill.
Yeah.
Yep.
And couples that eat each other.
You know what? Actually, I've been meaning to bring this up since we are kind of talking about this. There actually is one particular killer I definitely would like to talk about sometime on the show, but not only just myself, someone else. What was her? I know her first name, but what was her last name? Hang on one second.
Right, here's a picture of what happened after the sun. Wait, now to put it up.
I was gonna say it's a little bright.
Yeah, it just looks like you're very white, like a zombie. Did you turn into a zombie?
No, seriously.
Oh yeah, I can.
Oh, wow.
You look like a lobster.
Well, in my defence, you just don't wear coconut butter.
You must have been in a lot.
Cannibal
You must have
couple.
been in a lot of pain when that happened.
They canned their humans? Found by the
Oh God, I.
Oh, I know
Oh
what you're
God,
saying.
I.
Like they preserved them in jars and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cliff
Cliff
just brought up.
A cannibal killer who murdered 8
I gotta look
canned
that
humans,
up. That's
found
right.
body
Whoa.
parts. Oh my God.
I never heard of that one before.
That one actually sounds pretty interesting. So what is it? What killer do you want to talk about?
I can't. Well, like I said, we'll have to do this as a separate episode.
What's her first name? Or what's her name?
Her name was. See, what I'm doing right now is, I'm trying to find that name right now. But what I can tell you is,
Nickname?
no, there's no nickname this time. But what I was going to say was it was someone actually from Australia. In fact, Nikki Cameron of Night Watchers Paranormal was interested at one point in coming onto the show to talk about it, and it was also a type of killing that also involved cannibalism. So
Hi, Joanne.
Make a cannibalism episode.
Yeah,
it would be an interesting one.
Cannibal corpses.
Yeah, but she would like Nikki would like to come on to the show at some point and talk about this particular killer from Australia.
We need to. I'll organise better. The one I'm thinking about as well is Carol Bundy and Doug Clark, the AKA the Sunstruck Killers.
Yeah.
In 1980, Doug Clark met Carol Bundy after murdering and defiling the dead bodies of 2 teenagers. After Clark informed Bundy of his perversions, the two went on a spree and killed a minimum of 2 people together, but was suspected of more. After the rape and murder of their victims, Clark would cut their heads off and Bundy would preserve them for later use. They were apprehended in 1983 and found guilty. Clark was sentenced to death and is still on death row, and Bundy was sentenced to life in prison and died of heart failure in 2003.
It doesn't say how they preserved them?
No. I mean, when you look at them, some of them are pretty young. I mean, there's one in 1956, Carol Ann Fudgegate and Carol Starkweather. She was 13 and he was 18. Starkwell murdered her mother, stepfather and 2-year-old sister. After that, they went on a further spree and killed 10 people. Once apprehended, they were both convicted of murder. He died by electric chair in 1959, and she was sentenced to life in prison, but was paroled in 1976.
I found out who it was, by the way. It was the killer I was thinking of, Catherine Knight.
Yeah,
Catherine Knight.
I know who you're on about. That would be a really good one if you could get your friend on.
Yeah, she definitely would love to come on. She's actually been on a few other shows here on this network. In fact, believe it or not, she might actually be because she is part of a show of her own, and that show might actually be coming on to Things Network real soon.
Oh, interesting. I'll need to keep an eye out, but definitely invite her on. I mean, we have got, for the crime show, not so as much, but Frighteners is getting busy with guests.
I saw in the chat, it seemed like you were having one guest after another coming on. Like, holy cow.
Fuck, man. For Frighteners is booked up for the rest of the month and the start of next month. I need to kind of do the same for the crime show as well, because I can't have one and not have the either. So, to be fair, Frighteners is booked right up until the 2nd of June.
Oh, okay.
And
Better to do it that way, then you don't have to worry from week to week.
and the crime, I swear to God, it's like I should have a fucking personal assistant. MD wants a job to be my personal manager and assistant. Please feel free. Put your applicants down below. But I would really like to do it with the crime show as well. Get guests on if yous would be alright with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can't see why not.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah. So Frighteners is now booked for a couple of dates in July. So it's all Go stations. That's why I said I'm taking a couple of weeks off in August. I need it. I really, really need it.
That's probably going to be me too with Nick Files, because I've been making so many of these presentations. I mean, I got a lot already for several episodes, but I'm probably going to do the same thing too, also in August.
Oh, yeah. Honest to God. Rosie's like, you bastards want to take a holiday? I don't want to go.
I'll do it without you if we have a guest. I'll just find somebody and throw them on there.
Listen, as I said to you guys, and I've said to the guys in Frighteners as well, if you want to carry on and do shows without me, please feel free.
Yeah.
I says, carry on. If you want to do shows without me, or if I can't make it, I always like to give you that option. If you don't want to do the shows when I'm off, then please don't feel like you need to. But if you want to do them, then I'm not going to stop you. I trust you, and I know the boys won't blow up Frighteners.
No.
It's like, then they'll complain I'm overworking.
In July, I will be off the week of my birthday, though.
Oh, when is your birthday?
July the 19th.
Oh, I think we should think it.
I'll be gone that week.
Well, I'll have to remember. In fact, now that you've mentioned that, she's like, fuck, I wished I hadn't mentioned that now.
I should have said, I'm having surgery. I'm having surgery that week. That's what I meant to say.
Don't you tell me porky pies, Rosie.
Huh?
Hey, that means, I can see ya.
Hey, Sarah. That means on the 13th of July, I'm going to have a birthday party for you that night. Can I have one for Nick and no have one for Rosie?
Yeah.
We have to all have some kind of cake to eat. Like buy a cupcake or something.
You know,
that would be awesome. No, you guys can't take a cake.
I'm just going to say this, which is, all this talk about what's going to be going on for the next couple weeks. I'm just going to say, Lois, just be glad that we're probably going to take this break from August soon, because just remember, within a couple of weeks, and I told you about this before, is that Scott at one point wants me to come on to his show in a couple of weeks.
that baldy bastard better keep his fucking hands off my star.
That's what happens when you start doing this. Everybody wants you to come on their shows. Well, probably better than
funny.
Three or four shows a week. It was like hard.
Yeah. But funny enough, you should talk about Scott. His team is coming on Frighteners on the 7th of July.
Oh, they are?
Yes, really? I've got them for the 7th of July, yes.
Awesome.
I just want to make it very clear to him that Nick is my star, no your star. Get your fucking hands off.
That's funny. Tell that to Jeremy and Adrian and everybody else. Tell it to all them.
That's all right. That's all right. Jeremy York, I can reason with, because he'll just bash me and he'll take fighters and the crime show everything. Joanne says everyone that can. Oh, next.
I got it.
Me does the same thing. Everything that can needs a break. Take it, Lois. You're too much. I know.
We do.
I
At
know.
least in the summertime, especially.
That's what William said to me. He's like, Lois, do you never sleep? And I'm like, no, really. I'm like a Duracell battery. Do you know what it is? My head, not that sort of Duracell battery. Nicholas, behave yourself.
Wait, what?
He's the, I'll tell you after show and then you will laugh. He's like that. I wish I hadn't said a word now. But know what it is, guys. See, when you run these shows, you're always thinking, what can I do? What can I do to make it better? Or what subjects can I have? So my brain's literally never switches off.
Oh, really?
Oh, my brain's terrible. Honestly, honestly like I'm like a convenience store that's open 24/7.
She's a 7-Eleven. She's 7-Eleven.
Yep, I'm definitely equivalent to 7-Eleven. Do you know what I would love to do one night, guys, right? And I've taken the idea for this YouTuber that I sat and watched. It was actually Stephen that showed me it. It's a guy that's channel that's called Dark Fluff. And
Dark what?
Dark Fluff. I'll put it in the chat. Dark Fluff.
I think I've heard of that actually. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll type it in now.
Yeah. I've heard of a lot of like dark something channels, so that's why I was like, which one?
See, because I wrote Dark Fluff, folk are going to be like, what the fuck is she talking about? Just because it says Dark Fluff. But it's what it is it's a guy on YouTube that reads Reddits. Now, I don't use Reddit. I've never ever
Does he have a
but I'm
TikTok
really
too?
I'm not sure if he has TikTok.
I think I think I know who you're talking about. Sorry.
But he reads Reddit stories, and some of the ones you just couldn't honestly make up. He was talking about Karens and the amount of people that get stopped and confused to work in the store and have to deal with cheeky Karens.
That's funny.
So that's what I'm doing after I do this show tonight. Is I'm going to join Reddit because it seems to be good fun.
There's a lot of stuff on Reddit. Yeah. There's a lot of dark web stuff, or not dark web, but like dark history and like crime stuff on Reddit too.
Oh, that would be
stories.
That would be actually interesting, just to have a show one night where we read stuff from Reddit.
Yeah,
that would be cool. That really
would be. That would be a pretty.
Like looked up stories on Reddit that were local and went to those locations and investigated them before.
Oh wow! Wow! Well, why don't we do that next week if you wanted?
Yeah.
I can't see why not.
Right. We can all look up a story on Reddit.
Yeah, that would be good. We can make it funny. We can make it obviously serious and that. But there's always, I mean, Fred and Rose West is the most notorious one. They actually, their house that they lived in is now destroyed. It got bulldozed down, and there's nothing there.
Oh, really?
Yep. Fred and Rose West.
That's the ones that they were talking about in the comments.
There's a couple that used to stay in England. Their house was 25 Cromwell Street. I can give out the address, obviously, because there's nothing there anymore. There's no houses. Well, no house there. and basically Fred and Rose West were the most horrendous people you could ever meet. And they actually met at the bus stop. And Rose,
Horrendous.
they were horrendous, Lynn. And I won't go into the details of what they done, but they even attacked their own daughter. They killed their own daughter.
Oh, jeez.
There is a woman that I think was their nanny. Yeah, they kidnapped her off the street and they held her against her will. I can't remember the lady's name to this tune. But she often talks. She often does interviews to talk about obviously the times that they were with the Wests. Aye, they raped and murdered one of their daughters and buried her in the cellar.
Oh,
They are like Rose West is actually still alive today. So she is. She's imprisoned in West Yorkshire. Hi, Annie. That's alright. You've not missed much. You on our show. Basically, and guess who? You're gonna laugh, but I share a birthday with Fred West.
Oh,
I looked
wow.
up. I looked up serial killers who I shared the birthday with, and mine just happened to be fucking Fred West of all the people on the earth. He was born in a small town, Hertfordshire. He was the second of 6 children. And by Fred's own account, sexual abuse of various kinds were common in the household. He also claimed that his father had sexual relationships with his daughters.
Oh, jeez.
So he had quite a thing with. But him and Rose were the worst, I think, for like the Moors murders, definitely. Cliff wrote, just been reading about Catherine Knight, Australia. You'll have to read it, Nick. It includes her childhood trauma.
Yeah, definitely.
But Rosemary wasn't actually much better, and I definitely she did get a kick out of raping people. And the thing about Rose was her father had an agreement with Fred, that he could still sleep with his daughter while they were married. It's the
oh.
most sickest, fucked up story I've
How did the
ever
daughter feel about
read.
that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Rose was all for it.
No, I said,
That-
how did
that's-
the daughter feel about that, though?
But the one that they killed, it was horrible, absolutely horrible.
Apparently, she
And
didn't
he
like
had,
her. They wouldn't have killed her and buried her into the house.
Yeah, that's just horrific.
it is a horrific. That's why they destroyed the house. They destroyed the house. They actually bulldozed the full house down because the amount of what they were found in the house was just. It's so. People ask me about covering Fred and Rose West, and there's a part of me that says it's a crime show, and obviously do it sort of thing. But there's people go. What always comes into my head is Things Network because obviously there's children and what time in America it is. If I had to do Fred and Rose West, then it would probably be a show that was way later in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is that graphic, it's really bad. It is really, really bad. The Wests. And she is, as I said, she's still alive in prison, but she'll never see the light of day again. She honestly won't.
I'm actually surprised she hasn't been targeted in prison.
I'm quite surprised I've never heard some stories of her. Lynn says, I think people are doing these horrendous crimes are hiding abuse that they have had done to them and possibly
Yeah.
think that's normal.
And that's
Um,
unfortunately on some cases that's kind of been true. Like
Yep.
this is how
Yep.
they were raised, this is how they were taught, and to them they think that's just part of life. It's like
Yep.
in their eyes, they think that the rest of the world is doing the same exact thing, saying, "Oh, it's not. If it's happening to me, then it must be happening. It's happened to my
Yep.
brother, my sister, my parents, my neighbors on this side, neighbors on the other side, my best friend." To them, they think everybody's doing it.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, as I said, the West story is so graphically graphic that you couldn't. If you had to do a show, it would need to be one of the late night ones.
Yeah.
Because it's really bad. Even the Moors murders, as much as I would love to cover it, that's another one that's demographically too graphic. And it's just like, wow, you think to yourself, what possesses
Yeah.
too evil?
There actually is another, not necessarily couple, but it was two people working together, two serial killers, in other words, that I know that people ask me about this. Have I ever heard of this one? And I have said, I know this case all too well. The Toolbox Killers.
Yep,
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Oh my God, those stories again are just brutal to listen to. And I mean, obviously, those were two killers in particular. At some point, I'd like to cover also on the show. But man, just the way how those guys went, not only murdered but tortured high school girls, and also went as far as actually recording it. It's just again. What makes people want to do something like that?
Exactly, and I think with that in mind,
sadistic depravity.
Yeah.
it could be the rainy all. I think for us to do these sort of shows or have a one-off special talking down these shows, it would need to be, you guys would need to tell me a time in America, like that would be way past children's bedtimes. Like somewhere in the region where it's maybe 12 o'clock.
It'd probably be like early in the morning for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, because both for me and Rosie, we're both on the same time zone. So it will be
Oh,
the
well,
same
that's
for
good.
us. Yeah, it'll be same for both of
not the
us.
bad. So it would probably be about maybe 5 o'clock my time, which is 12 o'clock your time, guys. But we could.
12 here would be 6 there, right?
Well, I'm 5 hours with Nick.
You are?
I thought it was
Listen,
not.
Is it not 6?
why don't you people have normal fucking times? Why don't we all have the same times in the world?
Yeah, I know. They actually, believe it or not, they're actually trying here in the United States. They've been trying to end all these different time zones and just put it to just one, but they haven't really been able to do that just yet. So they've been trying to do that lately for the last couple of years.
Do you know, right, you're all going to laugh. This is how dated I am, right? I used to think America had one time zone, right? And I presumed everybody...
I'm not going to lie, I thought so too.
Right? I don't feel so bad an American that thinks he has only one time zone, so
Hey, Tom's in the house. This is
Hey,
Lois,
Tom.
this is who I'm going to be riding with tomorrow to OSR tomorrow morning.
Oh, wow. Hello. Nice to meet you, Tom. So it wasn't until Rosie, we did that show with Rosie about Ted Bundy. Yeah. And me and Jacqueline thought that it was a lot earlier than what it was. And I was like, oh, that works. And then Rosie was like, no, different time zone for Nick. So can you remember that when we did the Ted Bundy thing, right? And me and Jacqueline thought the show was about 10 or 11, but it turned out it was like midnight for us.
Yeah.
Different time zones.
So what time is it there right now? Lois, it's
Cliff's asking
3
about.
here.
Actually no, it's 10-4.
Okay, but what time is it where Lois is at right now?
I'm at 5 to 10 at night.
Isn't
So 4 to 10 is 6 hours difference.
yeah, it's 6
6
hours.
hours for you.
So if we
And-
flop the times,
See, I basically have grown accustomed like the timing in the UK and also not
yeah,
only
we
just
do.
the UK,
In Ireland and Scotland, yeah.
well, not only just the UK, same thing with the rest of Europe, because believe it or not, the UK, including as well as Ireland, they're the only European countries that is about 6 hours. The rest of Europe, I believe, is about I think they're about 7
8.
hours, like 8 hours. Yeah.
Greece is 8.
Yay! Hello,
Hey,
Kelly.
And she's just bring up what time it is right now down in Australia.
I
But
don't
see,
know their
that's-
time. I guess I would have to.
Yeah, I don't know the Australian time, and that's why I love when Kelly asked me the question, "What time does which time is your show in my time?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Think to myself, I need to go and look this up. So I'm
If
trying
there's
to
a
ask.
show that's on the Temple Network, then I always know their time zone. But if there's not, then or there's not someone from, like there's no one from Australia. So
Oh my
I guess I'm not really
God.
familiar.
You've been awake since 3:30 in the morning, Kelly?
That
Holy.
sounds like a normal day
That's
for
early.
me.
That happens to me sometimes too.
But waiting for you guys to come on. Oh,
Right.
thanks,
Well, you
Kelly.
missed the whole show, silly.
That's all right. Nick's only missed half it as well. Don't you worry about it, Kelly. But a day, time zones, that's why, like, Jason that's coming on next Saturday, which I'm so fucking geared up for. I had to actually Google Kentucky and see what the time difference for Kentucky to my time is. And it's like, it's the same.
Almost
Lad.
10, yeah.
You've been awake since 5 a.m., Tom. I'm
Tom.
not surprised. Because
Oh my God.
Well, you see, Tom, he works 2 different jobs. He works at a school and then he works at Walmart. So right before he goes to his job at the school, he usually wakes up relatively early.
You, sir, deserve a raise for working at Walmart. Have been on for
Yes.
1 hour.
We'd have.
I just don't know what notifications. The notifications right now are all over the place.
That's
Yeah,
strange, isn't it?
It's weird. It's been kind of weird lately. Like whenever shows are broadcasted, like they'll send a notification right after. Sometimes they'll send it. I mean, yeah, sometimes they'll still send it like once we're officially on. But there's other occasions that for some reason whatsoever that they give that notification several minutes after it originally broadcast.
I know it's
weird.
not.
It just
See,
doesn't make
Tom
sense.
agrees. He needs a raise.
Hey, he does.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
annoying.
it is
Very
it is
annoying,
again.
especially if you want to watch a special topic or something.
Yeah, it is.
I know, especially
it
when.
just,
On you go, handsome.
no, I was gonna say, but I totally get it though, because like I said, I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't make sense whatsoever.
No, what I think is what Nick, you should have taught. Oh, Nick, are you be naughty again?
Kelly,
Shaking her finger. She's shaking her finger.
Kelly, I said this earlier on the show. I'm packing up right now for a Paracon that's coming up this weekend, so I was also a couple minutes late myself.
Listen, guys, do you know something? I am going to make Nick his very, very own group, and it's going to be fully. Tomorrow I won't get sleep listening to Nick talk for 6 hours.
No excuse, dude. She said, no excuse, dude. 3:30 a.m.
So Rosie, we're going to make a group, right, about Nick, right? And we're going to make a calendar, right, for you lovely ladies out there. They want to see 12 months of Nick. please get in
Oh
contact.
my gosh.
I will make you your very own calendar.
You can actually make a calendar really cheap on Shutterfly. We do it all the time for like you just pay shipping.
Aye, we better start calling Nick Casanova. Yes, Nick, you're a naughty boy. Kelly
It'd
should
be like
spank
that
you.
shirt that somebody make some spandex pants with Jeremy's face on the butt one time.
Yeah,
Do you know what?
Who was it that made that?
I don't know who did it. I just know that they sold them, and I think Adrian bought one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Adrian got one of them.
Do you know what? That's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to make
Underwear.
a 12-month Nick. Well,
Underwear with his face on the butt.
what I could do is get a picture of a mankini, somebody wearing a mankini, and put Nick's face on the mankini.
That's oh my god.
I still want notified.
my
You
gosh.
promised to go to your room and keep it clean.
Kelly,
Oh!
I'm already
I love
in my
that.
room. My room is also my office.
Nick, you are becoming the new face of Calvin Klein. You just need to get the boxers out and start posing.
Well, I'm in trouble.
I think he needs to wear like a Bigfoot suit with underwear on over it. Like with a bathing suit on over it or something. Yeah.
Nick is becoming the David Hasselhoff of the paranormal.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of Baywatch tune, it'll be Nick running along the beach going like that with his hair.
No.
I don't think I can do that, but that is not
Do you know?
happening.
Do you know what? I can feel Nick's cheeks burning because my cheeks are burning.
Yeah, you guys are making my ribs
Kelly
hurt,
sounds
too.
like a police officer now.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Keep your hands at your side and not in your pockets. That's a police officer thing.
Oh man, you guys are making my ribs hurt now.
Tom, this is what happens when you're with a sex symbol.
Oh god.
Now we know why he was blue on that podcast.
He has blue on that podcast.
I know. I know.
Never mind. I think I know what y'all are talking about.
Uh,
The thing that you told me to never watch, remember?
Oh, yeah, no,
Never watch it.
don't look it up.
I won't.
I'm not even reading.
No, I'm not going to even say what it is because blame that on Wild Bill. He was the one who brought it up. But no, don't look it up.
Meaning,
Where did he
keep
go?
your hands
He
off it.
I didn't even see that. Read that correctly.
Oh my
See
God.
what
I thought you
happened?
meant out of your pockets, like, because, like, you're not allowed to put your hand in the pockets when you're getting arrested. Or you're getting
Oh, Nick,
apprehended.
What?
did you watch the stuff that Kelly sent you?
Oh my God.
She said,
He's a
okay,
mankini.
let's be clear on some things here. No, it's what she sent me were actually like important videos. It has nothing to do with that nature. It's
Right.
Look what Cliff said. Nick needs a mankini Borat photo calendar.
That is definitely not going to happen.
Nick, you do realise that a man that protests too much is hiding something?
A man that
That protests too much is hiding something. So, yeah, kinky boy, what's these videos?
No, there were some videos that Kelly sent me. It's not.
Oh my gosh,
it's not what you think at all.
Gorilla
Nick has his Gorilla Glue and pickles packed for the weekend.
What about the Cheetos? Don't you have Cheetos too?
Do I?
Cheese puffs. Didn't you used to have cheese puffs on your background or something like that? No,
that was what was it? I remember I had corn up at one point, but what did I have previously? I don't remember.
Cheetos?
I don't think it was.
I have no idea.
Gorilla Glue and pickles packs for the weekend.
It's all coming out now.
It's okay, Nick. We'll still be your friend. Yeah, whatever. It's all coming out now.
Rock.
Sounds like you
corn.
need a chaperone.
Tom,
See?
just so you know, we're going to be passing a lot of raw corn tomorrow afternoon since we're driving through the countryside.
Nicholas, see if you've been watching Debbie Does Dallas, don't be ashamed to admit it. We've got you, brother.
No, okay, so the videos that Kelly had sent me, there was like one about Bill Gates, and also another one about former FBI agent exposes the truth on UFO invasion.
That's precisely what the videos were about. Hold that up again.
The Mistress of Darkness.
It was what size is your orbs?
Huh? Your arms? Your orbs? Oh,
Your
yeah.
orbs.
I don't know how we ended up on this. We were here first of all to talk about these infamous couples. Now we're talking about this other crazy stuff. How the hell did we get into this in the first place?
But I have a lot of more weird facts about Bonnie and Clyde.
But do you know what I love about doing these shows? I thought he was in that show Debbie Does Nick.
Oh my god.
Do you know what? This is what I love about he's flustered. I can feel that redness. It's not my fault, says Kelly. But do you know what, guy? This is what these shows are about. It's about us kicking back, relaxing, and having fun. Nicholas, don't forget your Jack Skeleton dog and
I'm gonna get those. I'm gonna steal them.
Poor Nick in sex life.
Shut up, Eric.
Doll and pillow.
Eric, shut up. Anyways,
Nick's getting so flustered. He's like, what comment away?
Yeah, I'm not touching that one. Tom, I don't know why I need the Jack Skellington doll and pillow. I never bring those with me. I leave those at home.
He's getting a hot flush, all right.
Okay, this I gotta show what Kelly just brought up.
Are you gonna show the video with Bill Gates?
I'm trying to get it shared, but
he doesn't want to. He wants to click out of Pornhub first.
We need to show Nick confessions.
Wait, what?
You need to show Nick's confessions.
Man, you know what? The confessions of me, I'll not participate in that edition because I'm going to tell you right now. If we're talking about certain confessions about me, I'll never participate in that.
You can plead the fifth. It's your right.
No. Well, I was also going to say, I don't know if there's a statute of limitations for some of the dumb stuff I've done when I was younger. I know too many cops now. Is that a confession? No, I made a confession.
You're not giving admission of guilt to anything.
Do you know what, Nick? For as far as you taking it tight, you take it so fucking well, man. That's what I love about you. You sit there and you laugh, and it's great fun. It is honestly a joy. And do you know what, guys? Watching this man through the day I met him in Paranormal Paths to watching the man that I see now, he's like two different people. He's like so much more confident and so bubbly, and it's so great to watch. It really fucking is. Ask him about You want to tell us about manhole covers?
Tom, shut up. Do not bring that story? Up. No. There's no story about it.
I want to hear it.
I told you. That's one of those younger
I need to know.
It takes it always.
We can talk about this. We can talk about it afterwards. Because again, I don't know. There's a statute of limitations of what I did back then.
That's all right. Right, guys. join us next week as we talk about. We're going to share stories from Reddit.
Reddit.
So,
horror stories.
so it's going to be funny. It's going to be horror. It's going to be everything. But please join us next week, and don't you worry, guys. For what Nick tells me about these manhole covers, I'll tell you about next week. Don't you worry.
I'm sorry, that just sounds so wrong now.
It does.
But good night, everyone, and have a good weekend. And if you can't stay safe, well, ask Nick. Right, guys, catch you later.
See you guys later tonight.